Today let me set up the story a bit here. So our first part of the deck, we're going to talk a little bit about the Adobe and Microsoft partnership all over. So it's something that we haven't spent a ton of time. We've talked about it briefly in different sessions, but today we'll give you a much higher level overview of what that partnership means from all parts of the Adobe business as well as parts of the Microsoft business as well. And then we'll go into the specific integrations that we have in a high-level overview. And then we'll wrap up with me doing a click-through demo that will take us through the integrations into Office 365. And then we'll have time for Q&A. So let's go ahead and get started. So I would just like to mention that the Microsoft partnership started, I believe, about 4 years ago. And when we look at the things that they were hoping to solve as part of this was really to try to address some customer experience issues that the journey that customers are on can be very fragmented because it's very disparate against different sources. But customers expect a really highly personalized experience. And on the enterprise side of things, where we're obligated to deliver this, all of this has inconsistent data, and it's in many siloed compartments that many times don't talk to each other well, and that there is not a lot of technology infrastructure that includes automation that will bridge some of these gaps. So these are some of the things that we saw happening across all sets of our customers, and that part of the partnership is that we want to help to try to bridge this for our customers. So as part of that partnership, the overall look of this, you're going to see some things listed on this slide that have to do with our Experience Cloud. So not a part of the business that you guys sell in, but I wanted you to be aware that there's more to the Adobe partnership with Microsoft than just our little piece of the pie. It does bring value to customers in many ways, and kind of the key initiatives that they wanted to do when they created the partnership is to support broadly accessible data and insights, and to create more scalable content and commerce management, and to facilitate content personalization and enhance customer journey management. And so you can see that there's a number of experiences here that are definitely a part of Experience Cloud. If we look over in the top 2 or 3 here, those are all around Experience Cloud. And primarily the things that we are a part of with Acrobat DC, Document Cloud, and Adobe Sign would be more in the elevating workforce productivity and the innovative organization part. However, one of the things that came out of this, because we did see, as I mentioned before, that there were some definite issues that we're trying to solve. We worked together to try to do more for the customers, and as proof points of what we have been able to accomplish through the partnership that we provided is that we've worked with some joint customers, and a couple of these are listed here. So in the financial services, AAA boosted their revenue by 25% by implementing the Adobe Experience Cloud with Microsoft Dynamics. In government, the state of Hawaii saved nearly $5 million in 2 years on paper printing and labor costs, and that was using Microsoft Office integrated with Document Cloud, so that would be both Acrobat and Adobe Sign. And then the Portland Trailblazers increased year-over-year ticket sales by 30%. So we really, by working together, we have been able to jointly help solve some customer problems. And one of those kinds of things is something that we had with the Open Data Initiative principles. And what this basically is a joint effort by Adobe and Microsoft to enable data interoperability across applications and tools so that we can enable analytics to embrace an enterprise data from all different kinds of sources and systems, and provide a 360-degree view of the business processes and enrichment of an enterprise's data across all of these systems. So it's built on 3 principles. 1, to eliminate data silos. And the ODI is a unified data store for publishing, enriching, and ingesting data feeds from every application across an organization's tech stack. So it really gives a unified view and that you can build upon. And also looking at connected data that will power AI-driven business outcomes. So that, of course, is for artificial intelligence. So customers can enhance their real-time customer's profile, but they can apply the AI from Adobe Sensei to create deeper insights and take real-time action across all their channels. And then, of course, we make it open and extensible. While Adobe and Microsoft have spent thousands in engineering hours to make the Open Data Initiative a reality, we recognize that to be the most effective, we needed to have many points of view. And to that end, we've enlisted the help of key technology partners to ensure that customers wouldn't be locked into a single vendor while undergoing their digital transformation. So that's been a huge initiative that's really benefited everybody as a part of this. So now we're going to move into a little bit more about how our Adobe and Microsoft partnership applies specifically in the digital media area. So when we look at this in 2016, when we first started the partnership, we really had one integration into what we would call sales acceleration. So that was with Adobe Sign and in Dynamics. And then in 2017, we extended and added in Microsoft Teams and Flow into Adobe Sign. And we also brought the Teams integration into Creative Cloud. And on also in the Creative Cloud space, we did an integration of Microsoft Surface Dial with Creative Cloud. So that was for Photoshop and Premiere. And then we really leaned in on the workforce productivity. And that was really to streamline contract processing, have better integrated document management, and cross-team collaboration. And that included Acrobat and Sign as part of that initiative with Office 365. And then in 2018, some more enhancements came to the Teams product for both what we had inside of Creative Cloud. We also added in another module for Microsoft Dynamics with their Talent module with Adobe Sign. And then we added and built into Azure Active Directory integration into both Creative Cloud and Document Cloud into what is built into the admin console. So we can make it easier for people to be able to actively connect into their directories, be able to, of course, have that directory sync into groups and things like that. So that was huge for our customers. We also opened up our first Adobe Sign Azure Data Center in North America. And I know that today for you guys in Adobe Sign, we currently onboard only to AWS, but we are roadmapped that hopefully by the end of the year, we will be available on the Azure data centers as well. So I just wanted to make you guys aware of it. And then in 2019, we added in team collaboration with Adobe Sign and SharePoint, and we extended some additional functionality with Adobe Sign with Azure Active Directory to do syncing there as well. And then, of course, our team collaboration with in Document Cloud, so that would be the PDF into just what is into the Document Cloud side of things, so our PDF services and Adobe Sign integration. You can see that we have integrations into OneDrive, SharePoint, Microsoft Flow, Teams, Word, PowerPoint, and Outlook, all in Adobe Sign. So that's huge. And we also have the Azure Active Directory connector for Adobe Sign and through the admin console as well. So we feel like it's the right partnership with the two companies together because it gives us digital transformation and being able to manage customer experiences that require the right solutions in a partnership that enhances this technology in unison. And together, Adobe and Microsoft are revolutionizing the digital customer journey and how data is used to enhance customer experiences. So now we're going to look more specifically at the integrations that we have over in with Adobe Sign. So first of all, the first one is sales acceleration, and this would be Adobe Sign and Microsoft Dynamics. And this integration allows you to do e-signing, digital documentation directly within the applications. It enhances the contract management and governance process, has the ability to protect documents and data with the highest level of authentication, security, and compliance. And of course, it benefits the customer because it can streamline and accelerate the sales cycle, increase their pipeline visibility, and provide real-time tracking of their contract status. So we're going to look at a use case. So this use case is Hitachi Solutions, and they implemented Adobe Sign as well as Microsoft Dynamics 365. And essentially, Hitachi Solutions was looking to adopt a technology that it had actually implemented for several clients in the past. And it had integrated its Microsoft Dynamics 365 platform with Adobe Sign to streamline sales contracts that are very complex. So their contracts can be as many as 100 pages. And so with the integration, Hitachi Solutions reduced the contract turnaround time by 80%, from 10 working days down to 2. And they were able to complete contracts faster. And the company is able to get their work projects done sooner, which means that they, then can take on more contracts. And the improvement brings in more billable hours and improves customer satisfaction, strengthening their bottom line. So the automated workflows that they had between Adobe Sign and Dynamics streamlined the process of creating and managing electronic documents, and they cut the amount of time for their employees that they spend on paperwork by 50%. So plus the integrated solutions help reassure Hitachi Solutions clients that its processes would be compliant with internal standards and government regulations such as GDPR. And the transparent audit trail means that they were able to see who signed each document, when, and even if there were multiple signers and multiple versions of documents across the various regions. So overall, this was a great integration that, as you guys can see, really helped them deliver huge ROI for the customer there with Hitachi Solutions. Okay, so the next integration that we're going to look at is what we call workforce productivity. And this actually is with Office 365, Adobe Sign, and of course, as you guys know, when we say Adobe Document Cloud, that includes Acrobat and the PDF services. And we've talked about this quite a bit in our Acrobat training, but I put this all in the workforce productivity bucket. And what does it do? It means they can streamline and digitize contracting and approval process. They can create, send, and archive documents to ensure they have industry-leading security and compliance standards. They integrate Adobe Sign within Office 365 so that teams can efficiently collaborate and drive their decision-making. And it allows them to gain more agility and speed across their organization. And every department's able to mitigate their risk by ensuring that PDF documents are handled securely. So let's take a look at a customer case study here. And in this particular instance, we're going to look at the state of Hawaii. So the state of Hawaii used Adobe Sign and Adobe Acrobat Pro DC with Microsoft Outlook and Microsoft SharePoint. And so what they their whole piece of this was that, state governments here in the United States are under increasing pressure to do more with less as budgets would tighten and citizens' need to access these services becomes higher. And I would say that's probably a worldwide trend as well. The state of Hawaii saw an opportunity to save its taxpayers millions of dollars, enhance service delivery to residents, and bolster their environmental friendliness, and cater to its highly mobile workforce by launching a digital transformation initiative. So they launched eSign services, particularly Adobe Sign, and they had 80,000 state employees that regularly work on the go. And the state needed a scalable solution that could be accessed through mobile devices at any time. And of course, Adobe Sign provided the system right from the start. So in addition to saving 24,000 pages of paper a day, that's so huge, and almost $5 million in the 2.5 years since deploying the initiative. Hawaii state personnel are also happy about the modernized workflows and the integration into Microsoft SharePoint and Outlook. The government's seen market improvements in document security and traceability, as well as a speedier process of getting new services out to the public. They are enjoying a more efficient, effective, and transparent government processes, all at a lower cost than they had in the past. So they knew that they could save their taxpayers money by taking a more digital approach to their document management procedures. And in the past 2.5 years, they've saved an estimated $5 million. They've delivered 400,000 electronic documents in that time, which includes travel forms, authorization forms, spend requests, accounting forms, acknowledgement of pay stubs, which happens over every pay period to 40,000 individuals. And that all saves them that 24,000 pieces of paper daily. So that's huge. And in their case, because their population is spread out across 8 islands, the geographic challenges that faced by them are different than in other states. Their government personnel must plan regularly to travel by plane for work, and by digitally transforming their workflows and giving the government employees access to collaborative mobile-ready solutions, they were able to overcome those challenges. Personnel can electronically sign documents from laptops, tablets, or mobile phones from any location, so they never have to worry about creating any type of bottleneck. They also get all the signatures necessary to launch new citizen services that would have previously taken weeks and placed a huge burden on administrative employees. So the state of Hawaii's new arrangement speeds those processes up dramatically by automating routing of documents for electronic signatures, and this reduces the amount of time it takes to get a document signed into a matter of hours, so that new citizen services can be approved and deployed faster than ever before. This has improved their document security and their government transparency. So I think this is a great case study for us to be able to reference, and you guys will get the deck for this, so if you want to use it as well. The next integration we're going to look at is the integration into Microsoft Teams. So this particular integration is both in Adobe Sign and Adobe Creative Cloud. So specifically talking from the Adobe Sign side, it allows them to streamline their feedback and sign-off from colleagues. They can get up to date on the actions that are taken with their documents being signed. It enables them to increase overall employee productivity because they can have enhanced communication and collaboration. And it means they can also decrease their time to market. So the use case that we're going to look at here is called Iowa State University Foundation. And they used, of course, Adobe Acrobat Pro DC and Adobe Sign. They also use Creative Cloud for Teams as well, and Illustrator and InDesign. And then on the Microsoft side, they use SharePoint, Teams, and Microsoft Flow. So the Iowa State University Foundation raises funds that support the university students, faculty, buildings, and programs, but they have to be very careful to stay compliant with regulations, which means there's a large amount of paperwork and signed approvals from a number of stakeholders. So to increase their efficiency, the foundation adopted Adobe Sign and succeeded in shortening the average turnaround time from 81 days down to 68 days. The foundation integrated Adobe Sign with its Microsoft tools to streamline and automate the complex workflows that were involved in getting donation agreements approved. And SharePoint offers them a complete view of agreement status without the need for time-consuming data entry. So this visibility minimizes their administrative work, reduces errors, and allows the staff to give donors quick status of their updates. It's also reduced their printing requirements by 30%, as the foundation no longer has to mail paper copies to donors or other stakeholders for their signatures. So as a result, costs are lower and the foundation wastes less paper. By adopting an e-signature solution that integrates with Microsoft collaboration and productivity tools, Iowa State University Foundation made it easy for its staff to absorb the new capabilities into their existing processes and dramatically lowered the learning curve. So in this case, their foundation's fundraising work depends on solid, long-lasting relationships with donors. And that's why the organization wanted to improve the donor experience by streamlining the donation process and introducing e-signature capabilities with Adobe Sign. The foundation can email electronic copies of the agreements to donors rather than sending paperwork through the mail. And that way donors can review and sign agreements online within minutes. The delays to the donation process can have significant impact on students and faculty at Iowa State University, and they can dampen a donor's willingness to give. So to process donations faster, the foundation uses Adobe Sign in conjunction with Microsoft applications to automate their workflows, get agreements signed faster, not only by donors but by internal stakeholders as well, which can include things like deans, program heads, professors, and senior management. The Iowa State University Foundation also wanted to alleviate the administration workload on staff, allowing them to focus on working with their donors. And so by integrating Adobe Sign within SharePoint, Teams, and Flow, the foundation started to automate many of the manual tasks that slowed their staff down, and that included entering data from donation agreements into SharePoint for tracking. The foundation also uses Acrobat Pro DC to help teams collaborate on content such as reports, graphics, and ads for print and web, and integrated in with Adobe Creative Cloud apps such as InDesign and Illustrator, as well as Workfront. The universal PDF format allows, of course, different teams to create, review, edit, annotate, and redact documents very easily. So we've seen a couple of use case studies that relate specifically here. I will also reiterate that, of course, we are Microsoft's preferred e-signature solution provider, so we have some very deep integrations in these areas. Now, what I'd like to do is to show you guys a demo of the thing. So now that we've kind of explained the overview, I'd like to show you a demo. So Sally, if you can give me a share. Bowen is an account manager at Contoso and is working on a renewal contract for Northwind Traders, and she needs to get this done before the end of the quarter. And Isaiah is Megan's manager at Contoso, and he oversees the U.S. sales team. And Alex Wilbur is the decision maker at Northwind's Traders, and he's the guy that needs to approve and sign the contract that Megan is working on for his team. So we're going to start off over inside of Teams. So after a meeting to discuss the next step, Megan needs to assemble some supporting materials for Alex inside of Office 365 and Document Cloud. She then needs to send him out his signature using Adobe Sign. So she's going to select over in her Teams, she's going to select the Sales West channel, which is where she'll get her information. She receives a message from her manager asking her to review the proposed contract. And Isaiah shared a link to the file which behaves just like traditional files. In this case, it's accessible in Teams and is stored in SharePoint online. So she's going to go ahead and, in this case, she's going to reply to him inside of here. And then she's going to go over and click into the files in that ribbon and say open inside of SharePoint. Once she's clicked on her link, now SharePoint has opened up. And after reviewing the documents, Megan's next test is to combine the proposal contract with the proposal presentation. So over here in SharePoint, she's going to choose the proposal presentation. Now she'll choose the proposal contract. And then finally, the Contoso Services white paper. So she wants to assemble the set of documents to follow up for Alex to review. So she's going to choose Adobe Document Cloud from the drop-down menu and choose Combine Files by Adobe. After she's done assembling the documents, she'll end up with a single PDF to provide to her customer rather than several different documents. She can change the orientations of the documents from portrait to landscape or vice versa, and she can add more documents if she needs, or even add or remove slides from her PowerPoint deck. So we're going to expand the PowerPoint presentation, and we're going to actually remove a page from the PowerPoint presentation. So we're going to select page 3, and we're going to hit the delete icon there for the trash can. and then we'll click the arrows to minimize the presentation. And the top left of the proposal presentation, we're going to click to select this file. And let's go ahead and select the top left of the Northwind Services white paper. We're going to click the box that allows us to select that file. And we're going to enter a new file name in here. So she's going to actually call this a different thing, so she ends up with her full contract that she's going to work with, called Northwind Fiscal Year 20 contract. She's going to combine the documents to create one beautiful PDF that's easy for the customer to consume. So now she'll go ahead, once she's got that typed in, and she's going to choose Combine. And now then she gets a message. So notice the green banner along the bottom edge saying that saved back, and she can click it or click it SharePoint in the ribbon above her document to preview and return to SharePoint when she's done reviewing the PDF. So as we can see the entire document that was created in PDF. So you'll see nice, because the customer will see the entire document, although they were all different sizes and everything. Now she's going to drop back over to SharePoint. And from within SharePoint, she's going to select this newly created contract. And she's going to go to Adobe Sign from the drop-down menu. So in this case, she needs to send this out for signature. So directly from within SharePoint, recall we haven't left SharePoint, she can use Adobe Sign to send the agreement for signature. So she's going to enter her recipient name. So let me get that typed in. And then she can enter a new agreement name. So let's go ahead and type in the agreement name here. And then if she wants to add a customized message, she can add in a message here. And she could optionally password protect the document if she wanted to, as you can see on the right-hand side. We're going to go ahead and we could also set a reminder in the checkbox as well, so we could remind them at different intervals, such as a day, every business day, every other day, all the way out to every 5th day if we wanted. So we're going to click Password Protect, and then we're going to go ahead and click the Next button, which is going to allow us to put in the signature fields. So the documents have been uploaded. Now then we're going to go in and add in our signature field. So let's just slide down here to where we need to go to put the field in. So more towards the bottom of the document. And let's go ahead and grab out the signature block. And we'll resize this to be a bit larger. And then once we've got that, we'll be ready to hit the send button. So we're going to see what this looks like. She gets the notification that she sent this off, and we're going to see what this looks like from Alex's perspective. So Alex receives an email alert that Megan has sent him a contract for him to view and sign. And from his mobile device, Alex clicks the link from Adobe Sign. So he'll go ahead and click it. And he can review and sign the proposal directly from his smartphone. So you'll notice up here in the upper left-hand corner, we sometimes refer to this as the hamburger. We can expand the options menu and see what's available in here. And it's as simple as receiving this email, and no additional software was required. He's going to go ahead and click the message from sender. But he decides that in this case, he'd like to review and read the contract thoroughly before. He's not quite ready to sign the document yet. So he's going to go ahead and click OK. He'll sign the contract after he finishes his review. It's getting closer to the end of the quarter, and Isaiah, Megan's manager, sends Megan a note in Teams to see where the contract is located. So in this particular case, Megan is going to place a reply to him and let him know what's happening. This is what was entered by him, asking her what's the status of the contract, and now then she's going to reply to him. And she'll look over under the post, and she sees his message, and she's going to click reply. From within Teams, Megan can use Adobe Sign bot to provide the status of the agreement to Isaiah in the context of the conversation. So you can see that she's selected the Adobe Sign bot, and she's going to click Check Status for the bot to perform that, and it's going to ask her which document, what's the name of the document that you're wanting to check on. And then here she's going to type in that it's the signed Northwind FY20 contract. And both Megan and her manager are seeing this same information at the same time here in Teams. And Megan is going to send a follow-up email to Alex to get an update on this. So over inside of Outlook, she's going to check the status of the agreement by using Adobe Sign directly here in Outlook. And this works both for Outlook on the desktop and the web. So as she looks down here, she's going to look at the agreement status icon, and the pane shows all the agreements that Megan has been actively working on recently. So you can see we can go to a web view of all of her agreements by clicking Track All Agreements as well. I'm going to go ahead and click on the contract. And she could, in this case, she can view a specific agreement, but she can see it looks like Alex is still reviewing the contract. In here in the status, you can see he's viewed it, but he must still be reviewing it. And in this case, Megan decides that she should send Alex a reminder to bring this to the top of his inbox so he's sure to actually act on it. So in the pane on the right-hand side, she can actually click on one of the actions so you guys can see the various actions that are there. She also can click on the See for More actions that weren't showing up to show you all of them. And she's going to click on Reminder, and she could choose Daily until Completed drop down. So she's got a number of different options that she could choose between daily, weekly, every other business, every third or fifth day until he signs that. She's going to click Daily until Completed. Alex understands the urgency here and doesn't need a daily reminder, so Megan's going to send him just a quick message before she leaves the office for the day. So she's going to go ahead and say she wants to add a reminder right now in this case, and under who does she want to remind, she's going to remind Alex in here, and she could also then choose to include the message with the reminder. So in this case, she can just type in, "Hi Alex, can I have this signed by tomorrow?" And then she can create, click the Create button. So you can see that she gets a reminder that it's been sent as well. So now we're going to take her to sign the contract from Megan, and he still has the document open from earlier today when he was reviewing it, and he's now going to sign the contract. He can sign this directly on his mobile device, and security is built in with Adobe Sign. He doesn't need a Sign account to approve the document, just this, in this case, the browser. He's going to tap Start to begin the process. He's going to tap on the signature field to start the signing ceremony. And in this case, he can click Sign here. He can also trigger to rotate the phone if it would be easier, so that way he can do this in landscape mode. And let's go ahead, and he can sign the document with his finger or his stylus right on his mobile device. He can add a graphical likeness of his signature and then enter his name. So we'll go ahead and he'll just enter his name, and then he'll click Apply and rotate back into this after he's done. And at the top, he's going to click Finish. And just one more tap. By tapping the Tap to Sign button, Alex is showing his intent to e-sign the agreement and to bind his graphical signature to the document. And just like that, Alex is done. Simple, easy, and with that, just a few steps. He can do it all from his phone without any Adobe account. Megan notices an email from Adobe Sign that Alex has finished signing the contract. In the taskbar, she could click and return over to SharePoint. and she can click into the signed agreements. So note in here that a unique number was generated on her PDF file once the contract was signed. And after viewing the signed PDF, Megan can see it's certified by Adobe Sign Document Cloud Solution and is tamper evident. It was issued by VeriSign or trusted authority, and that the document is protected. All looks great, and Megan can proceed. With every agreement sent using Adobe Sign, there's an audit trail. And audit trails provide Megan and her organization the legal compliance needed for auditing. Megan is safe knowing that she mitigates any risk of compliance, of non-compliance. And we basically see that Adobe Sign and PDF services and Microsoft 365 empower Megan to accelerate her contracts, allowing her to meet quota. So back over in Teams, the Microsoft Power Automate helps expedite the routine tasks that Megan and her organization rely on daily. We'll look at an automation feature that updates Megan's team when a contract has been signed by everyone after it's been sent to the customer. So we'll go ahead and click over in the General tab for the U.S. And when you're added to the signed documents folder in SharePoint, a message automatically gets posted into Teams notifying everybody on the U.S. sales team that their contract has been finalized.